Hey, I'm Gavin Creel, and you're watching the Broadway.com show.
Welcome to the Broadway.com show, your weekly recap of everything that happened on the Great White Way this week. Or as we like to think of it, the only place that thinks it's totally acceptable to spend Valentine's Day on the couch with a pint of Ben & Jerry's, sobbing over the demise of Jamie and Kathy's relationship on demand. What's the buzz, Paul?
Neurotic Marvin, his boyfriend, ex-wife, son, therapist, and the lesbians from next door are all heading back to Broadway. Yes, William Finn's heartwarming Falsettos will be back on the boards in spring 2016 with original co-writer and director James Lapine back at the helm. The well-loved show first appeared in New York as the off-Broadway one-act musicals March of the Falsettos and Falsetto Land before being joined together for a 1992 Broadway run. Roles like Marvin, Trina, Mendel, and Whizzer are beautifully crafted with great humor and heart, so let the dream casting begin.
To quote the ever-lovable George Takei, oh my. The Star Trek vet will make his Broadway debut in Allegiance, a new musical set during the Japanese-American internment of World War II and inspired by Takei's own childhood. The show, which premiered in 2012 at San Diego's Old Globe Theater, will play Broadway beginning on October 6th, with opening night set for November 8th. No word yet on whether Takei's Old Globe co-stars Leah Salonga and Telly Leung will reprise their roles on Broadway, but fingers crossed.
Moonshine, that hee-haw musical, inspired by the classic TV show, will make its world premiere in Texas this fall. Country stars Brandy Clark and Shane McAnally are penning the score, so Cornfield County's residents are in good hands. Meanwhile, Gotta Dance, about a senior citizen dance troupe learning hip-hop, will open in Chicago in December. With a top creative team attached, we're sure octogenarians will be doing the Running Man on Broadway in the near future.
Sam Smith, Beck, and Beyoncé were the big winners at this week's 57th Annual Grammy Awards, but they weren't the only ones being celebrated during music's biggest night. Beautiful, the Carole King musical, took home the trophy for Best Musical Theater Album, beating out other big Broadway hits like Aladdin, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, and Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Meanwhile, Robert Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez were once again rewarded for their Frozen soundtrack and mega hit Let It Go, and the late Joan Rivers posthumously received the Best Spoken Word Album Grammy for Diary of a Mad Diva. In an official statement, Kanye West confirmed that he was okay with all of these winners.
We've got 3 reasons to plan a trip to London this year: Elf, Cats, and Kinky Boots. Cats is sticking around at the Palladium Theatre through April, while Elf will begin performances at the Dominion Theatre in October, and Kinky Boots will arrive at the Adelphi Theatre this August. Lola, Buddy, and Grisabella, we hope you enjoy your stay in the West End, but don't forget your pals in New York. We love you too, and we have really good pizza here.
Hey there, this is Jennifer Nettles, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
The big screen version of The Last 5 Years is finally here, premiering in New York and LA movie theaters and TVs across the land on February 13th. For this week's Pop Poll, we headed to the New York premiere of the ultimate breakup musical to ask some of our favorite stars their top tip for getting over a broken heart.
Act like that you don't care, you don't give a damn, and they come running back real fast.
The best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody.
It's just vacation. What are you going to do? Go to the Caribbean, for God's sake. Just get some sun, get over yourself, it'll be fine.
I don't think rebounds are actually a good thing, so don't immediately go into something else.
I'll tell you, the only tip I have is it's much better if you're the one doing the breaking up.
But I would say honesty is always best.
Drink heavily.
Is there a drink of choice in these scenarios?
I don't know, bourbon, I guess. Whatever knocks you out fastest makes the pain go away.
Don't f*** up in the first place.
We need to talk about some kind of wonderful news from LA. After making the earth move under Broadway's feet and picking up the Tony for her portrayal of Carole King, this weekend Jessie Mueller won a Grammy for Best Musical Theatre Album. The Natural Woman shared the Golden Gramophone with the producers of the beautiful cast recording. Congratulations, Tony and Grammy winner Jessie Mueller. You are our star of the week.
Our tweet of the week comes from Lin Manuel Miranda, who you might know is just the teensiest bit busy crafting the next great American musical and being a new dad. He tweeted, "There ain't an eye cream on earth that can undo a newborn and a musical in previews." Hey, no one ever said being a founding father was easy. And with Hamilton extending at the public through May 3rd, it looks like those puffy eyes and dark circles aren't going away anytime soon. You can follow this Tony winner at Lin Manuel.
Thumbs up to Patti LuPone returning to the New York stage. The Tony winner, who is currently performing with a pink elephant or something at the LA Opera, is set to headline the new comedy Shows for Days off-Broadway. Douglas Carter Bean's play is about a 14-year-old boy and the community theater diva who inspires him. Since Patti always inspires us, we just know this is genius casting. We can't wait to see it at Lincoln Center in June.
Thumbs down to Broadway producers for not taking a chance on Tommy Tune. I was thrilled to have the stage legend on Show People this week, as he made some of the most unforgettable theatrical experiences of my childhood, from 9 to Grand Hotel to the Will Rogers Follies. But where's the next great Tommy Tune musical? The tall Texan said he's often given the chance to direct revivals of old shows, but he wants to create something new. Well, yeah, haven't you moneybags seen what this guy can do with a cluster of chorus girls and a few $1 million? Don't we deserve one more great Tommy Tune show on the Great White Way? Do I need to kickstart this thing?
Hi, I'm Bryce Pinkham, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
Broadway.com has teamed up with Culturalist, the site that lets you create lists of your favorite stuff. And trust us, it's addicting. This week, since we're so psyched about the Last 5 Years movie, we asked you to name the top 10 best songs from the Jason Robert Brown musical. We know, it's like asking you to choose between your children. Here's what you guys picked. Climbing Uphill, See I'm Smiling, Shiksa Goddess, If I Didn't Believe in You, The Next 10 Minutes, Goodbye Until Tomorrow, I Could Never Rescue You, Moving Too Fast, A Summer in Ohio, I Can Do Better Than That, Still Hurting. Check back next week for a brand new Culturalist challenge and see the Last 5 Years in theaters and on demand February 13th.
This week's Hot Shot features Tony winner Alan Cumming and his longtime dresser Kimberly Mark backstage at Cabaret. Broadway.com's Caitlin McNaney photographed the pair, who has worked together for 17 years, in Cummings' dressing room right before a performance. Even though she had to get used to a Scottish accent and he still rolls his eyes at her junk food consumption, their obvious affection for each other shines through, and Team Cumming is as strong as ever.
Smackdown time! Last week we asked you whether you'd prefer to see Les Mis movie stars Anne Hathaway or Amanda Seyfried when they appear off-Broadway this spring. Well, the results are in, and 75% of you said Anne and 25% picked Amanda. Now, to two very exciting Tom Kitt and Brian Yorkie projects. The If Then and Next to Normal scribes are currently working on stage adaptations of Freaky Friday and Magic Mike. So we want to know, would you prefer to see the classic switcheroo story or Channing Tatum lookalikes first on Broadway? Tweet your vote of Freaky Friday or Magic Mike to @BroadwayCom with #BRaySmackdown and tune in next time for the winner.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Broadway.com show. We'll leave you with Greg Hildreth crooning Sondheim's What More Do I Need from his recent 54 Below debut show, Second Fiddle. Enjoy, and we'll see you next week.
The landlord yells in the fall, so loud I can't hear the plumber pound the wall. An aeroplane roars across the bay, but I can hear you as clear as day. You said you loved me above the sound and speed. With your love, what more